Well, hello friends. Welcome into the DreamHack FOMO raid train. Here in the Serena Kingdom, we are the caboosey we talked about earlier, and we are closing out the raid train with the cosplay panel. We have had so much fun this week. We've had about 17 other streamers be live. Some of them had friends, other content creators with them, just celebrating the FOMO with each other and just having a great weekend, and I think everyone killed their slot. So thank you guys for just hanging out and vibing with us all. Before we get started, I do want to give a huge thank you to my co-hosts, Lady Amelthea and Hey Amethyst May, who did make an appearance at DreamHack this weekend. She's crazy. All of the amazing streamers who joined the raid train and everyone who supported us along the way. Special shout outs to our mods. I saw a bunch of mods jumping between everyone else's channels, so thank you guys for being a part of this stream as well. Today I'm cosplaying as one of my favorite characters, the lovely Harley Quinn, and I'm hosting today's panel. We've got a mix of advice, cosplay tips, random chaos, and fun get to know the panelists questions planned. We also have a channel point redemption if you'd like to ask the panel a question. We're going to save those for the very end, okay? So if you guys want to, I think I put it for 30 channel points, so anybody can ask a question. Please keep in mind we might be slow responding to chat while everyone's talking, but we really appreciate you guys being here and for all the love and support. To kick things off, we're going to have each guest introduce themselves and share a little bit about how they got into the cosplay world. If you guys see someone in chat that you really want to say hi to or something, please feel free to engage with chat, but just keep it nice and short, okay? I'll go ahead. You guys basically know me. I'll introduce myself real quickly. I am Serena Paris. I've been streaming for about 5 years. I love DreamHack. I love TwitchCon. I love going to conventions, and I have a lot of FOMO, so thank you guys for hanging out with me. I have 4 beautiful kitty cats. I have been cosplaying since I was like 15, 16 years old, and I think I remember wanting to always be a princess when I was a little kid, and that's really what got me into cosplaying. Is I love dressing up and having a fun time. So thank you guys for joining me. Fairy Doom, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Yeah, for those who don't know me, my name's Fairy Doom. I also go by a bunch of other names if you're in here for that. But yes, I have been streaming on and off for, I don't know, I would say it's probably been about 4 years, maybe 5. I took a bit of a break due to having a wonderful little daughter, and I did have a little bit of cancer that I had to fight. I don't really want to go into that. Anyways, much better now, so I'm thinking about getting back into it. But this is my first cosplay in a really long time. The first one I ever did, I also was a teenager. It was Luna Lovegood from Harry Potter, if y'all are familiar. Not great, but it was good. So I'm really happy to still be doing cosplay on and off here, and I'm happy to be here with everybody.
Yay! Thank you, Fairy. We love Harry Potter. Underneath me, I have the lovely Kissy. And guys, I'm really, really excited. I have cosplayed and hung out with Fairy before, and we've collabed together. I have 2 new friends that we get to meet and talk to tonight. We are talking to Kissy and Colleen, who've never been on this stream, and I really haven't got to know either one of them. So Kissy, feel free to introduce yourself.
Friends, I'm Kissy Sensei. You can call me Kissy or Sensei. It doesn't really matter to me. I have been streaming for, I think this year is my 4-year streaming anniversary. I want to say like in a couple of months. I'm not sure. I have to double check. But I am really big into cosplay. I've been cosplaying for almost 12 years now. I've done a ton of different costumes, attended a ton of different conventions. I attended DreamHack for the first time last year when I got invited as a cosplay content creator, which was super, super fun. They invited me again this year and I wasn't able to come, so this is really fun for me because I have such intense FOMO. I'm seeing all the pictures and I'm like, dang it, I wish I could be there again, but I cannot. But cosplay is a really big part of my life, and I got into cosplay kind of on a whim, honestly. It was just kind of an idea that my brother and I had when 12 years ago. I think I might have been, oh my god, I don't know, in my early 20s. And we just thought it would be fun. We were into Attack on Titan at the time, and we thought, hey, wouldn't it be fun to just kind of dress up as our favorite Attack on Titan characters and go to this local convention? And my brother and I thought it was fun, and I roped my partner into it. We roped our friends into it. And we just said, all right, cool. Bought the outfits off eBay, showed up, had a really great time, and thought, man, I think I want to do this again. And then we just kept doing it over and over again for 12 years.
Can you tell us a little bit about your cosplay? That you're
Oh, sure. Sorry. I'm right. Sorry, I forgot about that. I'm cosplaying. This is my latest costume. I just debuted at PAX East in March. This is BSAA version of Jill Valentine from Resident Evil. She also wore this in the DLC for Lost in Nightmares for Resident Evil 5, I think that was. It's actually a dream costume of mine, and I kind of threw this together from Amazon and pure grit and will a week before PAX. So.
As you should. As you should. Well, thank you, Kissy, for being here. I'm excited to hang out and get to know you a little bit more.
Too.
In our bottom corner, I don't know if it's the left or right for you guys, but we have the lovely Colleen. Colleen, hello, how are you? Feel free to introduce yourself a little bit.
Yeah, hello, I'm Glenn Conan. I am an Icelandic German cosplayer living in Iceland.
Oh, so
I've been cosplaying since 16 years now, and I feel really old. I love going to conventions. I go to a lot of conventions also internationally, so to Germany, Sweden, USA, Netherlands, France, and so on and so on. So I've been around quite well. I just love it so much. I kind of accidentally got into cosplay as well, also more on a whim. I was a super huge fan of Naruto back in the day.
Yes.
And there was an event at the other side in Germany, like 6 hours away. I was a 14-year-old little girl, and I begged my mom to take me to this event because there were Naruto cosplayers meeting up. And she's like, what the hell? Why are we going for like 6 hours to the other side of the country so you could meet other Naruto fans? I was like,
yes!
please.
Yes, that's what we're doing.
Then we also bought a cosplay from eBay. I went there, and everybody was like, oh my god, amazing cosplay. Like, it's so nice to see younger people coming in here as well. I was like, what is cosplay?
What is that?
This is also, I got my name from it because I was cosplaying Conan, and I was the smallest one there, so they called me Kleine Conan, which means small Conan.
Oh.
And this is how I got there.
That's cute. I love that. And I know time frames are so different. What time is it for you?
Right now it is 7 p.m.
See, chat, that's why we're doing the DreamHack FOMO Ray Train. Everybody can join at different times, different time zones, and someone was live this weekend. We actually got to meet the voice actor that does Naruto, and that was one of my partner's, like, oh my god moments in cosplay. Just being able to talk to her, get to know her a little bit, and then, like, she did some of the voices, and that's just really cool, like, meeting your own heroes, you know?
That's so nice.
So like I said, we have some questions for you guys. I tried to keep them a little bit sorted so we weren't jumping all over the place. I believe I'm starting with advice. Let me pull them up. If one of my mods wants to put them in chat as well, I think I have them in mod chat as well. And if not, I can just copy and paste pretty too. So we're going to start with advice. We have a few questions for advice. Then we have some tip questions. And then we have some questions that are more personal for y'all. And then more of like random questions, okay? I'm so excited. I'm at DreamHack today and I felt so empty without you. Oh my god, Megan, have fun. Take pictures. Avoid anybody who is sick. If you find something pink, send me a picture. Actually, a couple of my friends have sent me pink pictures from DreamHack, and I'm like, yes, thank you for thinking of me. But thank you. I appreciate it, guys. So we're going to start with advice. I can copy and paste some of the first ones if I need to. So, then like you guys, or like I said, y'all can put y'all's hands up if y'all want to, and that way I can call on y'all so we're not just being like, who wants to go? And some of these are going to be some y'all want to answer, and if you don't want to answer, you don't feel relevant, you don't have to answer them, okay? So the first question we have is, what advice would you give someone attending their first convention or wearing cosplay in public for the very first time? I saw Fairy's hand go up first.
Okay. So I'll just go based off my experience and kind of what I learned. But first and foremost, always carry your confidence with you. There's going to be so many people at these conventions from every tier level you can imagine with cosplay, or maybe even just their first convention. So if you come in there with an outfit, cosplay, whatever you're wearing, come with confidence, be proud of what you're wearing, and just be friendly. Keep your eyes open. There may be people that recognize you if you're a streamer, or maybe a friend of a friend, and just, go and meet them. But also keep your eyes open for your safety too.
Amen.
Not only are you going to be there meeting people that are amazing, but there's also people that maybe make you uncomfortable. You are in a cosplay. Sometimes cosplays can be risky or accentuate certain features that are part of the character you're playing, and some people may take that as an opportunity to make you uncomfortable, basically. So when you're in a convention, stay confident, stay alert, and always be looking to make friends and be friendly, but just keep that in the back of your mind. That's what I would recommend anyways.
I feel like that's great advice. And, just making sure you're watching out for yourself is icing on the cake, because unfortunately, regardless of where you go, even if it's not a convention, there is weirdos out there. Kissy, what advice would you give someone who's attending their first convention or like wearing cosplay for the first time?
Honestly, I like a lot of what Fairy said to kind of like build off of the whole confidence thing. I think kind of an issue that I've heard a lot of people cosplaying for the first time bring forth to the table is how awkward it feels, and how you feel like everybody's staring at you and everybody's judging you, or they think that you did something silly with your costume, or you might see somebody cosplaying the same character as you, but because of their skill level and because they've had more experience, you might think, oh, they look so much better than me, or they did the character so much better than I did. I promise you, my advice is whatever you think people are thinking of you, I promise you they are not. They are just kind of glancing at you. There's so much that goes on at a convention. There's so much stimulation. There's so much noise. You're paying attention to so many different things. I might look at a cosplayer for a split second, take a note of what they're wearing. If I know what it is, I might say hi, or I might, just kind of mark it in my head like, oh, I really like that. And then at 5 seconds, I move right on. I'm like, well, now on to the very next thing. I promise nobody is thinking that you look weird. Nobody is thinking that your cosplay is terrible, or that you made a strange choice. So I really like what Fairy said. Pair your confidence with you. Just have fun. You're wearing a costume. It's gonna be a weird experience because you're not wearing normal clothes. You have a wig that's not your hair color, or makeup you've never worn before, or outfits you've never worn before. Lean into the experience. Understand that you're not going to be a professional from the very first jump, and
Amen.
just have fun with it. People are going to see you and have fun, and they might want to interact with you. Lean into the interactions. Keep yourself safe. Obviously, listen to your gut, listen to the radars. Anything that's going off in your head that tells you it's not safe is probably correct. It's not safe. But lean into the experience, have so much fun, and try really hard not to get into your own head and ruin your own experience.
Exactly, and I love that how Kissy said that, like, when you are a character, like when I did Lord Farquaad at Ren Fair, so many people were like getting on their knees and doing the bowing and just being in character, and that opens up the conversation. You can meet people, you can network, you can really get to know people. It's scary, especially the first time you're doing it, but like everyone has said so far, be friendly, have fun, and just really play your character if you feel comfortable doing so. Colleen, what do you think for advice?
So I would say if you are going for the first time, best is to maybe also take a friend or a guardian who can come with you. It's best to do it just if you like, so you can feel a bit safer, and also a lot of things are coming. There's a lot of things going on. It might be a bit overwhelming. So to just have a person and feel safe with is really important. Also, if you don't feel comfortable arriving in cosplay, there's a lot of changing rooms at the convention where you can change into if you just don't feel comfortable going in cosplay in public, because sometimes it can be quite nerve-wracking and not everybody can be nice about it as well. So don't worry about that. And I would also say pack good shoes. You're running around a lot at these events. You can have amazing cosplay shoes, but always pack a comfortable extra pair just in case. You will be doing lots and lots of walking, and we don't want your feet to die on you, right? pack a lot of water, a lot of food. Convention food is really expensive, so just if you have the possibility and it is allowed, take it with you. And if anybody makes you uncomfortable, there's always usually security or convention people who are always usually clearly saying something that they are convention staff, and don't be afraid to speak up and tell them if anything goes wrong or a person is highly uncomfortable towards you. Okay?
Yeah. Is it K-Line? Is that better? Is that closer?
Or any name is fine. You can
I'm
say
Wanderlust.
Conan, you can say Klein.
I'm
it's
so
fine.
bad. But going off of what you just said, last year at DreamHack was one of the first times I actually had to get with the staff member and let them know of a situation that had happened. And we ended up in security most of the day, unfortunately, because someone couldn't keep their hands to themselves off of one of my friends, and it ended up being not a great situation. But being able to find security very, very quick was awesome, and DreamHack I feel like did a really good job with that situation. Unfortunately, like we've kind of talked about, people are not going to keep their hands to themselves. People can be mean, people can have a, you never know what people are going to do, so you have to have that at the back of your mind. But being able to be someone who can be like, hey, I need help is so important, because some people are scared to come forward, but being able to be like, hey, there's a staff member, we need to address this situation is so important. For me personally, for advice for someone who's attending their first convention, I think a lot of people don't talk about con etiquette. I think people just go to a convention and people don't really realize that there's a lot of people there. And when there's a lot of people there, I personally think that there's a lot of rules and boundaries that everyone should set for themselves, and everyone's going to have different rules and boundaries. So one of my biggest things is when I do meet someone for the first time, even if I know them from social media, streamer, TikTok, wherever I know them from, I do introduce myself and I ask, do you want a hug? Do you want a high five? Do you want to awkward stare at each other? Like, some people don't like touching, and that's fine. There is a lot of people who will run up to you, hug you, touch you, grab your cosplay. That's not cool. I understand how amazing some cosplays can be, and they really are, especially that once you get to that pro level, you want to touch, you want to look, especially if it's someone you've been looking up to. I understand the whole feeling of, I want to hug you, and you can have that conversation beforehand too if you know someone beforehand, being like, I'm going to give you a hug when I see you, and then that's established, that's fine. But I always ask people like, hey, can I hug you? Can I touch you? You want a handshake? Things like that. That's a big one. And another thing also is if you see someone eating, that's one of the worst times to talk to them. Especially if they're a cosplayer, let that cosplayer sit down for a second, eat their food, and then go talk to them, because I think that's the worst thing that I deal with, is if I'm eating or sitting down for a second, that's sometimes when people will flock to you, and it's just like, let people have their space too is a big one. But honestly, you kind of learn some of that as you go through conventions. I don't know words, chat. No, I'm so bad, Wanderlust. I'm trying. The awkward stare.
Oh God, don't take pics when people are eating. Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh
Well,
God,
and then
no.
and people do it all the time, and I feel like it's so disrespectful. But and I've told people no, and I'm trying to get better about telling people no. If I'm eating or if I'm doing something at a con, come back, and if you see me later, I'll do a picture with you. And I know that some people will be upset or rubbed the wrong way, but I'm trying to get better about being like, these are my boundaries, and I need to say no right now. Especially if I'm potty, if I need to go potty or something, no. I'm going potty and then I'll come back. Awkward stare is great, and I have done awkward stare. People like it. People like the staring contest. I like to do what people are comfortable with. I don't mind hugs and high fives, but I know some people are not okay with it, and I think just having that conversation when you're meeting someone for the first time is super important. You guys ready for question number 2?
Yes.
Yeah.
Looky, no touchy. Exactly. So these are kind of all advice, so some of them are gonna sprinkle into each other, but for question number 2, and you guys can put y'all's hands down so y'all can re-raise them. What advice would you give someone who feels not good enough to cosplay a character that they really love and want to bring to life? Ooh, Kissy was fast with that one.
This is something that really, I talk about this a lot on my channel when it comes to cosplay, and I preach this a lot to cosplayers just in general. I don't subscribe to the phrase not good enough. I don't think there is or should be a scale when it comes to cosplay that you're not good enough to to cosplay this character. You're not tall enough or skinny enough or pretty enough or skilled enough. I think that everybody is wearing a costume. That just means right from the jump, we're all just a little weird. Like, we're all a little crazy. We're all a little nuts. We all decided to put on a costume and leave our houses this morning and come to a public place with a bunch of other weird people who decided to do the exact same thing. So in order for us to all feel comfortable and understand that, like, guys, we're all just weirdos. We all left the house weird and having fun and embracing it. Why are we setting ourselves to a scale of, well, I'm not good enough to do this character, but you're good enough to do this character? Buddy, we're all weird. Where is the scale? Why do we even have a scale? There is no such thing as being good enough to cosplay a character. You put the costume on, you have fun, you enjoy, you get as deep into it as you want to, or as surface level as you want to. And the fun part with seeing other characters, or rather other people that are like cosplaying the same character as you, is that it's a networking opportunity. You can start to talk to them. Hey, how did you make that? Where did you get that? How did you do this? And then you can take it to then improve upon the costume so that the next time you wear it, you might feel a little bit more confident because now you've learned skills and you've added more to it, rather than taking it as, oh man, they look so much better than me. I didn't do the costume that well. I'm not good enough to cosplay that character. Look at how cool they look. When in reality, it's like, oh buddy, they're just as weird as you. You're just as weird as them. Why don't you go be weird together and exchange some tips and talk about how cool your costumes are?
Let's be weird together, chat. God,
be
that
weird together. Why not?
I feel like that's perfect advice. Kaylin, do you want to add anything to that?
Oh, wait, it's me, sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, we're just all fucking nerds, and it's not a beauty contest. Just go for it. It's like, we're also not we're not anime figures in real life. Come on, we're just a human being who dress up for the fun of it, and that should be fine. Do whatever you like, as long as you do it respectfully, of course. So that's the only thing I would say and add to it. And especially as a disabled cosplayer, I sometimes also have to use like a cane or sometimes even a wheelchair, and then it's like not perfect to the reference, and I don't give a flying shit.
Period. And you shouldn't. Fairy, honey, do you want to add anything onto that one?
Yeah, I was just gonna go based on my experience. So I am more of a plus size girl here, and in the cosplay world, I know that there can be a lot of criticism to not play or dress up, whatever you want to call it, as a character in a show, especially when it comes to anime. So I agree. Every human body is going to be different. We're not going to look like that. So Conan, I really love that point. That's what I was going to say. Yes. But yeah, I mean, even if you're plus size or if you're smaller than the character too, I mean, just wear what you want to wear. Because the reason you're cosplaying them is probably not because they look a certain way. It's because you like them, their personality, or for me, Poison Ivy, I just think she's badass. So
and she is.
That's why I'm here today. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, don't let your size stop you from what you want to wear.
And you look really badass, I have to say.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Period. You both do.
How long did it take you, Fairy, to... I know you said you glued all of those down.
I did. This probably took me about an hour and a half to kind of get the leaves where I want them to lay, because it's also on the back as well.
Oh.
I'm definitely going to keep this one for future and just kind of build onto it with the legs and add some vines and stuff there when I had more time. But yeah.
Those are so
Not
cute.
bad.
And Sloth agreed. You know, animated characters are never going to truly represent the shape of a normal human body. And if anyone's going to talk shit about anybody for their shape or size, they're a fucking asshole and they're a bully. Fuck them. I think the only thing that really should be talked about is, like Conan said, as long as there's respect in it and you're not doing it to be malicious. Like, there's been a lot of hate for certain people doing characters for, like, different colors and things like that. And I've seen people do things that are cosplay and you can tell they're trying to be racist about it. Like, that... Yeah. not cool. That's not within respect. That's not cool. But also, that isn't really like, what advice would you give someone who doesn't feel not good enough? That person's trying to be an asshole being that character. You know, cosplay really is for anyone and everyone, and you can start and learn and grow, but just be respectful of the characters you're doing. And again, you know, it doesn't matter if you're tall or short. You know, like even when I did Lord Farquaad, people were like, oh, you're a little bit taller. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm still bad bitch, you know? Still a little silly goose. Just do what you love, and if you love dressing up and being a silly little goose, that's all that matters, you know? Okay, so y'all can put y'all's hands back down. What advice would y'all give someone who wants to get into the cosplay world, but they haven't jumped into it yet? Fairy.
Oh, that's the first one. So my advice would to be just get creative. I mean, seriously, if you have an idea pop in your head of who you want to cosplay as, maybe it's your favorite character, just look at a particular item they're wearing, maybe a shirt, and just try and think about how you would want to wear it on you to represent that character. So this is your time to really be creative and explore how you want to wear something to represent that character. Don't really put limits on yourself, especially when you're first starting. Just kind of go with what feels good for you. And if anybody tries to hate on the fact that you're using Amazon or maybe a thrift store, anything like that, like when you're first starting, you're not going to have a big budget, especially if you're not doing competitions. It's just a hobby. So just buy materials, get stuff from where you can, and just enjoy the creative process.
Some of my favorite cosplays I've done have been closet and thrift store cosplays. So having fun with it and taking it at your own pace is so important. Kissy, what would you tell somebody?
I would definitely lean super heavy into exactly what Fairy said. In the great words of Nike, just do it. Like, just jump into it. Honestly, there is no right or wrong way. You might even jump into it scared. I know the first time I ever put a costume on, I was very nervous to step into public, and especially because the costume is not super normal clothing. You don't look normal half the time when you wear a costume, so it's very obvious that you're not just walking around in something normal, quote unquote. Lean into it, just do it, be creative, and understand that the very first time you do it is not going to be the best time in the entire world. It's not going to be like, you're not going to step out of your house feeling super 100% comfortable, super 100% like, yeah, like this is like a I'm really comfortable. I'm not nervous. I'm not scared. I'm not anxious. Like, no, you're probably going to be all of those things, but
It's okay to be those.
And, like, leaning. Yeah, and it is. Like, I wish people understood that a lot of the time cosplayers, even cosplayers who have been doing it for as long as we have, there are still times when I come into conventions, when I debut costumes for the very first time, I'm anxious as hell. Like, I'm nervous. I'm like, I don't know how this is going to be received. I don't know if anybody's going to even know who I am, what I'm cosplaying. Like, I don't know what kind of experience I'm going to have. Even after almost 12 years of cosplaying, I still get nervous. I still get anxious. I still get scared that a costume is not going to go the way that I want it to go, or I'm not going to have like the experience that like I want to have. But you still do it. You still do it. You still have fun in the end. Throw yourself into the experience. Get creative. Stay open-minded. Stay open just in general. Like, really take in everything. Pay attention to everything. And use it as a lesson for the next time. Every single time I go do a costume or go to a convention, I use it as a lesson and I apply it to the next time and the next time and the next time. And that's how you keep improving and feeling like better and better and better. But you got to do it.
You got to do it. And like you said, no matter how long you've been doing it, if it's your first time or your 1000th time, I don't know a lot of people who don't get nervous. I really don't. I can't think of one creator that I've met or other cosplayer who don't have their moments. Some people are like, I'm a professional now, and they do I do have a bunch of friends who do compete at professional levels, and they are amazing, but they're always like, should I do this? Should I do this? Like, everyone always has, we're all human. We all have those thoughts. But one of my favorite things about a lot of conventions is they're starting to do cosplay things backstage where they have needle, thread, waters, things like that for cosplayers. Do y'all know what they're called? They had one at DreamHack last year. It's not really first aid, but it was like a little cosplay area for cosplayers if they needed to fix their outfits or something like that. But
It's
it was
usually called like a cos aid. Usually it's called here, like a cosplay aid
Something like that.
station.
yeah.
like
Oh,
met
cosplay station.
kind of like
Yeah.
these things. Yeah.
And that was cool because not everyone can go into that. But as soon as you walk in there, people are like, "What do you need? Do you need something fixed? I will help you." People are ready to help sew you back into your outfit, fix your wig, things like that. The mending station, yes, and that was really cool to start seeing more conventions bring that together, because that puts a little bit less stress on us, that we know that we have a place to run to if we need help or advice or things like that. Conan, what do you think?
I think you all made really good points. Like, I have like only like two extra things maybe. There might be also like areas where if you don't know what you're doing, you want to really start sewing, you want to start like crafting, but you don't know where to start, you don't have the equipment for it. There is, for example, at least here in Iceland, it's called like a Fab Lab, where you can meet and there's people who can help you out. There is like sewing stations, there is like cutters, there is like 3D printers, and they're all really excited to teach people. And these are things that are basically nearly for free, where you only pay, for example, the materials, and then the time and the teaching is, for example, completely for free. We have that happens. We have like every second Sunday here, we have like where you can just go and they help you out, and they're absolutely fantastic. And same as like the library here, for example, also offers that they teach you. They also have the same thing as like the sewing things, for example, a lot of patterns, and just a lot of people who go there to make costumes. And it's just like a nice utilization area where you can meet people and how to get into certain things or teach things.
I've seen some of that on TikTok, and I think that's cool. That I live in a smaller town, so we really don't have a need for it. But I've seen a lot of like Houston, Austin, Dallas area. Super cool, and it's one of those places where you can go where you can learn from other people, but you can also, like, the second you start learning, you can turn around and teach that next person behind you who's coming in those doors the same thing you just learned, and then it just keeps creating that growing community of cosplay. And there is a lot of cosplayers who really are willing to sit down and help you from the bottom. You just have to ask for it, you know? Also, I love your kitty. I was getting distracted earlier looking at the kitty cat.
He's a needy boy.
I'm so glad you said that, because me too. I was trying to like keep a straight face because I was about to be like,
cat.
We're all staring.
And if I don't give him
We're like,
attention and
"Oh,
just treats, he will start screaming. So
oh.
Yeah, Joanne's, R.I.P. Joanne's. There's Michael's now. But yeah, I mean,
Winston Michaels.
Sloth just said, I did find a Harley Quinn costume last year at Goodwill, and it was freaking amazing. Like, you do not sleep on thrift stores. Don't feel like you have to spend $1 million on cosplays. And then, like, if you haven't jumped into the world but you want to, I think what Kissy said earlier, you know, like, literally just do it. There's people out there who want to help you out. I think it was Mel. I don't want to say the wrong person, but someone in chat earlier said that their first convention was a very small convention, and that really helped them feel like this is what I want to do, but I'm scared to go, you know, like, to compared to like a big DreamHack TwitchCon. Honestly, that's great advice. I would never recommend like TwitchCon was overwhelming to me, and I've been to a bunch of conventions. TwitchCon was one of the biggest events I've ever been to. Going to a huge event is not something I'd recommend off the get-go. unless you're crazy and you're feeling it. I don't know. I think if I were to tell someone to go to a big event first, maybe not do it cosplay that first day. Take that first day very simple, get the lay of the layout, figure out what everyone else is doing, because there really is a lot going on. Like Kissy said earlier, no one's really thinking about you. There's so much going on. There's so many booths. There's lights. There's sounds. I'm overwhelmed at conventions 24/7. As much as I love them, overwhelmed all the time. So maybe starting small would be my best piece of advice if you're wanting to get into the cosplay world. And feel free to dip your toes in. Some people are like, just jump into the pool. If that's you, jump into that pool. But feel free to dip your toes in too. You can start small too.
Yeah, I think next time I'll do like Terminator or something just so I can wear dark glasses the whole time.
Yes.
I hate all the lights.
Well, and like, not to like just because I'm a Loop partner, and so like not to just promote myself, but I have been working with Loop for over a year now, and they're an earplug company, and I love wearing earplugs to conventions, concerts, anything like that, because you can still hear, but I feel like it really helps keep me level to level with someone, and I can still have a conversation with you. When I forget my earbuds, I cannot talk. I cannot listen. I'm not there. And one of my friends, Honey, learned real quick last year. We tried to go to a bar and I didn't have my earbuds, and I was just sitting there. You could tell I was not having a good time. I was overwhelmed, and Honey was like, let's go. And I was like, no, I want to chill. I want you guys to have a good time. But Honey was like, no, we're leaving. And so I was like, thank you. But yeah, just little things like that. If you know that you need something to help you have a good time, feel free to do that. And like Conan said earlier, if you need if you need to be in a wheelchair, if you need to bring your cane, if you need glasses, like Fairy, like you can make it easier for you to enjoy conventions on that.
Yeah, and your cosplay will not be ruined by it either.
Exactly. And if anything, it's going to make it more you. I love when people make cosplays that are more them, if they can. You know, I'm like, oh, that's so sick. That's so dope. That's so you. We're going to go into some tips. Are you guys ready to talk tips?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Who wants my tips, chat? Who wants the tip? Okay. And again, some of these might bleed into each other a little bit. But, so for question number 4, what are some beginner-friendly cosplay tips that people just don't talk enough about, or that might be more like a secret tip? Kissy.
So, like, not so much of a secret tip, but something I wish had been told to me when I first started cosplaying. I mean, I spent the first, like, 2 years of my career just kind of doing this over and over again. Pick comfort over anything else. It is so easy to want to get every single detail of a costume correct. But just like we had mentioned before,
Kissy's calling me out right now. What a bitch.
Like, no, it's awful. Like, I one of my first cosplays that I did for like a really long time was Edward Elric from Full Metal Alchemist, who has an entirely automail metal arm, and also at some point carries like a very long, like 6-foot spear, which I decided to make, which was like super fun.
Oh, I hear you twice somewhere.
I was just saying that. I was like, why do I hear me twice? And also, it looks like we lost Fairy.
Yeah, we lost the signal.
Okay.
Let's hold a pause real quick, and we're gonna see what happens.
Yeah.
Serena checks bag full of shoes that can't stay on for more than 30 minutes. Yeah. But like, see, I've learned that you don't even wear the shoes into the convention. You do a quick photo shoot when you first get there with those beautiful 5-inch heels. Then you take those suckers off. You know what I'm saying?
And I wish I had known that, because I wasn't taking the shoes off. I was just like, I'm going to go throughout the entire convention with these heels. And then I would get home and wonder why I have blisters on like the outsides of my feet and my toes, and I would be in pain for like 24 hours afterwards.
I really think it was in like the last 2 years I've started doing it. Being like, I gotta choose comfort.
And I think that's so important, especially when you're first starting out. It's trust me, like I said, I spent the first 2 years being like, no, I have to get absolutely every single detail correct. And I'm somebody that when I wear wigs, my hair's pretty long, so I have to pin it a lot under my head.
And do you get bad headaches?
I do, and it happens nearly every single time I wear a wig. So I have to very carefully like plan moments when I can like loosen my wig and just kind of sit out, or like completely take my wig off and sit off to the side so that I don't get a massive headache. But it's things like that. Like, I used to push through things like that. I used to be like, oh my God, I have a headache because my wig, for example, Conan's wig right now with like the pigtails, I cosplayed a character for a long time that had pigtails, and they were clip-on pigtails, and they were giant
and those
clips.
hurt.
And when Yeah, dude, they hurt so bad. Yeah, they
Oh
look just
yes.
like that. And they would give me the worst headaches ever. But in those first 2 years, I would push myself because I'd be like, no, I've only been wearing this costume for like an hour. Like I still want people to see it. I have a photo shoot in like 35 minutes, and I would just push and push and push. And then at the end of the day, I would wonder why I was so exhausted, why I had such a bad headache. It would like ruin the rest of my night. It would ruin the rest of my opportunities to do anything fun. And there were many opportunities I missed out on, like going to after parties or having late night meetups or anything, because I pushed myself so hard that I just ended up being down and out for the count for the rest of the night. Now, oh my God, I choose comfort over literally anything else. I don't care if it looks different. I don't care if the character was wearing 5-inch heels and I've decided to wear flats. I'm exhausted. I'm almost 35 years old. I'm tired. I don't want to do this anymore.
Well, and Kissy, that speaks to my soul. I feel like that probably speaks to everybody else in the call, anybody else in chat who is a cosplayer. I feel like we've all been there. We've all done that, and like throughout, like, and that's part of the learning process is you do start learning some stuff like that. Like I have a little wig thing that holds my wig on my head that helps with some of the pain. I also carry, you know, a little med kit thing with me, a little health pack. You know, I pop the ibuprofen and the stuff before I put the wig on because wigs are a bitch, chat. I don't know if you know this, but wigs suck.
Heavy on the ibuprofen in the bag. I carry the ibuprofen. I carry the icy hot patches, the Band-Aid, like everything. I carry a little first aid kit with me now.
Yeah, you have to. Conan, what do you think?
Yes. There's quite a few tips. Like especially so first of all, always check your health. If the contact lenses are hurting, take them out.
Yes.
For example, if anything on your costume feels like it's absolutely bothering you and you feel overwhelmed, take it off. Like, and just put it on if you need it. Especially when it comes to also wig pain, what I do is I use one of these wonderful sheets, and I fold them and I put them under the wig cap on the front here, and it relieves like a lot of pressure.
Ooh.
So you don't get like these wig cap headaches, for example.
Very
Just like, for
helpful.
example, a nice little term.
Writing that down.
Yeah.
It's really nice. You just fold it a tiny bit and then you put it right like under the wig cap, and it's so good. Like, holy hell. I used to get such big headaches from like these wig caps, and now it's so much better. And a tip I have, for example, for foam work, if you ever work with EVA foam, and you, for example, have a really long line of a glue and you don't want everything to go at once because you want to like work in small sections first, what I highly recommend is using baking sheets, like baking paper, because they don't adhere to the glue. So you can put it, if you use contact cement, for example, you just put contact cement on both sides of the EVA foam you want, and then you wait a tiny bit until that has gotten a bit sticky. I think like I always wait like 15 minutes. So you can do between 5 to 15 minutes. I do 15. And then you just put a baking paper in between. You can slowly remove the baking paper as you continue to progress, and it doesn't stick when you don't want it to stick.
Oh my god.
Nice.
Literally a lifesaver right there.
So this is what I like. And also if you use really long wigs, we all know wigs tangle like really badly. It's such a pain in the arse, and I use a lot of like cosplays where I have really long wigs. First of all, crimp them. Crimping already helps so much getting like rid of like really badly knotting. And what I then do is using silicone spray for cars. To make it so they don't like adhere at all to each other. I use it a lot. It smells amazing, I have to say. I just used it earlier to fix the wig, actually.
And that's so helpful because people do not smell good at cons.
No, it's just like everywhere. So I just picked a wig for myself because I'm going to a convention next week. So it's literally like silicone spray for a car.
Wow.
And this is what I'm using. Don't use too much of it. Like a light spray. Like.
And how did you learn that? How'd you come across that?
I was just sick and tired of it. I was like, I know something that is like nice and lighting, and I use it for other things in my cars. I was like, can I use this for my wig? And I just start spraying on it. lifesaver. It doesn't cost a lot either. You can get it probably at nearly every car store, and it's just like silicone spray, and it also really like smells fantastic, I have to say.
That's awesome. That's definitely great advice. Fairy, do you have any? Oh, go ahead. Oh, sorry.
Please. No, that's fine.
Fairy, do you have any advice for someone beginner friendly tips?
Yeah, some tips. Well, first of all, sorry, my microphone. Okay, when my camera got unplugged, it like unplugged everything. So I had to like quickly mute because it went to my computer for the sound, which was. Anyway, so I reset everything, but luckily I know exactly what to do. So sorry about that. But no, my tips would be first, if you don't have a hot glue gun, go buy one.
Someone said that earlier.
Yep. First
I
step.
use hot glue guns for so many things. Sometimes I even carry them with me, like, because if there's something that needs to be fixed quick, honestly, like, you can put it close enough to your skin, it doesn't radiate too much heat, so as long as you don't touch yourself, like, you can do a quick fix. They're amazing. My other tip would be, apparently you have to smell good at conventions. I didn't know that was a thing going on.
Yes!
I haven't had that issue.
Please!
But if you want, I can give you some tips about some really good body spray that actually will stay on your
Taking
clothing.
showers, deodorants,
Yeah,
anything.
definitely take a shower. Your character would definitely take a shower, so
Even if they
do that.
wouldn't, you take a shower.
Yes, you
Jokes
do.
aside. Also, I highly recommend, even if your shoes don't match the cosplay, to bring tennis shoes to a convention. And you are really only gonna want, if say you're wearing like really really tall heels, right? You're not gonna walk around in those all the time, so make sure to bring tennis shoes. Don't feel like you're ruining your outfit. Please bring them and wear them for most of your walk. And for your photos and things like that, or if you're going in competition stage, obviously you can wear them then. But yeah, highly recommend changing your shoes out. Definitely bring another pair. Carry water with you. It may not seem like it's a lot, but actually wearing the costumes, especially depending on how heavy it is with the dresses or the wigs and such, it actually can take a pretty big toll on your body. So having water and being hydrated is super important. And that's really all I had to add because
I think all of those are good too. Like, I feel like we talked about headaches earlier. I don't know if you guys know this, but I get migraines from light and sound. And so being a streamer, that really sucks because there is lights and sounds everywhere. You hit a convention floor, lights and sounds are everywhere. And then we talked about on top of it, you're wearing your wigs, your heavy outfits, you do start feeling like shit. So taking breaks, drinking water, eating food, all of that is super important. But seriously, like, it'll be 5 p.m. before you even know it. So there's a lot of times where if I see a bathroom, I check myself and be like, do I have to use the bathroom? And that might sound silly, but I lose my human senses sometimes at conventions because you're so overwhelmed.
Yeah, heavy on that.
There's times where I pass food and then I have to be like, when's the last time I ate? I haven't eaten in 5-6 hours. Let's sit down and eat something, you know? Or let's just sit down and see if I can get hungry. Because there's a lot of times where if I'm hot and overwhelmed, I cannot eat. But that's so important. That's when you eat chips, a drink, just getting something back in your system. Going back to tips just in general, this is something I dealt with having problems with my very first dream hack. I plan all of my content for mornings. I didn't realize that some people don't give a shit about other people's times and people just want to show up whenever you show up. I think if you plan a collab with someone and they tell you a time, you show the fuck up. I know that getting to a convention at 10 or 11 isn't for everybody, but then don't say you're going to be there if you can't make that happen. If you know you're going to drink the night before, don't commit to that. I love to do my content first thing in the morning. Because guess what? By 5 or 6, you're feeling like shit. You don't want to do your dances. You don't want to do your transitions. You don't want to do that shit. You don't want to do it. That's my biggest piece of advice, is I would wait till everyone would get there. People were all over the place. But now I've set times. This is what we're doing. If you want to be in a video with me, meet me here. This is how it's going to go down. And one of my first conventions, I did plan a big TikTok with like 10 people and no one showed up. And it really pissed me off. Again, I know mornings aren't for everybody. Don't confirm that. But to me, that is something that works for me. Getting content done in the morning. If you are going to book a photo shoot or have someone take pictures of you, try to do it earlier in the day. That's when you're going to look your best. You're going to feel your best. You're going to smell your best. And then you can take your shoes off. You can take your wig off if you need to. Something I've started doing too is it sucks having all this extra shit in your bag. But even taking an extra pair of clothes to change into. I try really, like Kissy said earlier, I try to stay in character the whole day. But if there is a moment or time you're like, I can't do it, or I'm gonna have to leave the convention, you take that wig off, you put your normal clothes on, and that really helps bring you down to, okay, I can be here for another 2 hours or so. So just bringing an extra pair of outfits has helped. I try to make it like a dress or a shirt and shorts, something not that's big in your bag, because as a cosplayer you have 5,000 other things in your bag, but having an extra set of clothes is so helpful. You're gonna sweat your makeup off by 5 o'clock. Yeah, so if you want to make videos at 5 o'clock, that's fine. I will not. That's not for me, and that's something that I've learned is I'm dead by 5 o'clock. I'm doing all my content early morning. And I think that's something people don't talk about I think that's the best time to do it for me personally.
Oh, yes, get a fan. Get a battery powered fan. Please bring one with you. I almost forgot to say that. Yeah. I have one that was... Yes, just bring one. Even better if it has one that you could spray water in it too. Like
I don't have one yet. Really I think that's something that I need to add to my backpack. But then I keep looking.
I just have one for my daughter's stroller.
Oh, so smart. But I keep looking at my backpack, being like, I need this, and like I said, being a cosplayer, you already have so much shit in your backpack.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What is something super random that y'all have in y'all's bags? Do y'all have anything super random?
I always bring myself some, I'm not sure how they're called in English, I have to say. It's when you, blister, like, plaster things.
Oh.
Like, if you ever, like, run a blister, for example, like, you have new shoes for cosplay and so on, like, I have them, like, I have so many packs of them, and I hand them out like candy to people because so many people don't pack them.
I need you to send me a picture of that, because I know, like, Band-Aids, but they're different than Band-Aids. Blister Band-Aids.
Yeah, blisters. Yeah, they're made specifically for... I know what she's talking about.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
She went to immediately go look for it.
Yeah.
So
Conan's like, I'm going to show you right now. But that's why cosplaying and talking to other cosplayers is so important. I know it can feel intimidating, but seriously, we're all willing to help and give advice.
So
oh my god.
Like blister plasters, they have a cushion and some gel in it, and they actually also heal the blister. So you wear it for like a couple of days, and also if you know you're getting maybe a blister, you can also already prepare and
have
put them
that
on before you even run one.
Oh
yes,
my
exactly.
god! How long has this been around? What the hell?
For, like, since I was a kid, and they are amazing. They save your life, honest to God. And again, so many people don't pack them to conventions. Highly recommend getting them. And I run out of them. I bring like 5-10 packs of them usually at a convention, and at the end of the time, they're all out.
That is so sweet that you give them out to other people. Mods, can y'all put that in my reminders? I gotta give me some of those. Those are life changing. Thank you for talking about that. Oh my god. But going off of what Conan said, something I would recommend to never do, and sometimes I do fault myself on this. Never wear a cosplay the day of for the first time. If you can, if you can, try your shoes on, walk in your shoes beforehand. At least try your outfit on. Maybe you don't have to wear the outfit out the whole time, but trying the outfit on, trying to figure out where it fits weird, if something's gonna fall apart, things like that. There has been days where I do put a cosplay on for the very first time on like stream. I don't think I've ever done it for a convention, but shoes. I know some people get shoes for a specific cosplay and they wait to wear them that first day. I don't recommend that.
Gotta be honest with you, bestie. I'm real guilty of doing that.
Oh,
I do that almost
all the time.
Every single time I lift this costume when I planned to wear it to PAX. I planned to wear it to a panel, and I literally had everything still in its original
Oh
packaging
my gosh.
from Amazon, and I was in my hotel room with my best friend just taking everything out, and I was putting it on, and I got so frustrated that it wasn't working that I just said, screw it, I'm not doing it tonight. I'm literally not doing this costume. And then the next day I went back and I looked at it and I said, okay, yeah, no, we're doing this. I have to do this. And I put everything on, and thankfully it worked. But
Yeah.
if it hadn't, I definitely would have been like, oh, well, that's an L for me.
Yeah,
Sorry.
and see, I'm always so nervous about things not fitting right or just being weird. And like, I mean, everyone's different sizes and heights and stuff. So I'm like, ah, you got to try it on beforehand at least. But shoes for sure. Break your shoes in if you can. I just saw a cosplayer have a really bad rash from getting a pair of boots from thrifting, and they didn't wash them. So I don't know
that's a
if
no-no.
it was like the leather or something that was already on them, but that's a big reminder. If you are thrifting stuff, guys, please wash your stuff before you wear it. Please, please, please.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a couple that might be kind of odd. Really quick, I just want to throw these out there. So, especially if you're wearing shorts or something like that, my thighs rub together, so I can
Yes.
chafe really easy. Make sure to bring anti-chafing.
Yes.
There's sticks now, or you can use, it's kind of like a baby powder. I'm forgetting the exact name of it now, but you can put it on there and it actually will heal that if you did already start to chafe as well. And then if you're wearing heels and you're going to be going through grass, you can actually buy these little, they kind of look like little cups that flatten the heel, so you're not digging your heel into the grass. It's a plastic that covers that heel. So I carry those with me, and some chafing usually, as well as like snacks and other things. I'm
Yes.
definitely gonna have to add the blisters on there as well, because I knew
Yeah,
about them.
same.
I just didn't really carry them, but that's a really good idea.
Wonderlust
to carry some
said
too for others as well.
talcum powder, maybe?
I think
that
that's
sound
correct.
right?
Yes. Yeah, that sounds right.
A and B
it
powder?
really helps when you already have chafing going on and it's red and it hurts. That kind of will dry out any areas maybe that are, like getting sweat. So if you
Yeah.
sweat in between your legs or maybe underneath your boobs, like not TMI, but
Yeah.
if you put that
But it
there, it
happens.
will actually stop any of those kind of rashes or icky things from happening, and you can feel more comfortable. Also, it does help with anything that would like start to smell bad from sweat. So if you really have that kind of issue, that's really good too.
Dude, the first time I took one of the sticks with me to a convention for my thighs where I chafe, my life was changed. I was like, oh my god, I can wear my skirts, I can wear my shorts. I try to plan my cosplays of like how I know I'm gonna feel on Sunday when you're feeling like shit, and I try not to wear anything that I feel like I would hurt my chafing on Sunday. and a lot of that is, it's hard sometimes to plan things the exact way, but chafing's a bitch. I'm really glad that you did bring that one up. A little TMI, like you said, but we all sweat, and we all it all, if it ends up hurting you, there's tips and tricks that help some of that. Let me
I
see.
mean, we're here to give tips, so there has
Yes.
to be TMI.
That's what I'm saying.
Guys.
It happens.
Tips with TMI, exactly.